She's a kook. My mother's a psycho. She is a psycho mother. So then she sits by the pool. Oh, I know what you're thinking, but you know what? I don't pay attention anymore. I don't even react. My mother sits by the pool. She goes, and I knew she was upset about the bachelor party for it. She goes, I used to think that all men except my son were from Mars. Martians, they act so strange. But now I see you're from Mars. And I go, my mother could annoy a rock. And you want to know something? God bless my sister. My sister knows how to handle my mother. My sister, ever since she was a little kid, I'm going to talk about her. My sister, since we were young.
You've got plenty to work on, Howard.
I know what gets you. My sister, when we were young, my mother would start yelling at her. My sister would walk right downstairs to the door and slam it in my mother's face and walk out.
No, she walked
True or false?
The bedroom door.
And slammed right out, right? Never gave you a chance. And to this day, if my mother starts working on my sister,
she's out
of there. Don't open your mouth. But me, Mr. Sucker, who has some emotion about the woman, I get caught up in her little web, but not anymore. I learned from my sister. Now I sit there by the pool.
From your sister.
That's right. My sister's the oldest sister you can learn something from. I learned how to handle you.
Listen, Mr. Important.
Well,
I know the situation.
My sister's lucky she inherited my mother's jugs. I certainly didn't inherit my father's penis. Thanks, I have. I got a nub.
I must have deserved you.
Well, why don't you calm down and maybe you ought to let Dad out of the house once in a while. Maybe he'd have a life.
Dad is free to go.
Oh, please. And believe me, she wouldn't let go of my father for 2 seconds. My mother would be lost without my father.
Yeah.
My father runs her whole life. My mother doesn't even know where the checkbook is.
That I know.
Yeah. I have to know something. Do you make noise in bed, or do you just lay there like Tanya?
None of your business. None of your business, Mr. Big Shot. None of your business.
When Dad is with you romantically, do you moan?
None of your business. What I do.
I can imagine what
I can imagine.
Your family and your home life and your wife.
Yeah, why do you know what's good for me and my wife? Hey. Why do you know? How come you know what's good for me and my wife? But for you and your husband, you don't know what's good.
I raised you, and I know what's good for you.
Yeah, well, stop being such a know-it-all.
Parties are not good for you.
What's wrong with her marriage? Is your father
my parents don't have a good marriage.
Is your father complaining?
My father is with my mother because he can't get any other women. That's the only reason.
You're too
Second he gets somebody, he's out of there.
Very nice to say about your father.
It's true. He's sick of the whole thing. I see him. He wanted to date Sally Kirkland.
Yeah? And what, you like that?
Yeah.
That idea? Oh, you had plenty to say.
How many times
talked about Sally Kirkland?
How many times did you and Dad have to have sex to produce me? It wasn't the first try, was it?
No.
You're not that far.
No, you were not an easy sell.
How many times? Did you try?
Go back to your parties.
Did you try for a long time?
Go back to your parties. I think that's the thing for you to do.
Well, I will, and I'll tell you one thing. If my wife was as uptight as you, I would have been out of the marriage 10 years ago.
Your wife is an angel. Listen to me. She's
not such an angel. She woke me up last night.
From heaven. You found her, the one and only. Let me tell you.
My mother didn't even want me to get married to Allison.
Well, she could be wrong.
She got me a hold of me the night before the wedding. And she said, "Are you sure this is who you want?" I said, "Yeah." Why don't you tell the truth? You did not want me to marry Allison.
No, who did I want you to marry?
You thought that maybe I could have done better.
How dare you say a thing like that? What are you trying to do, make trouble between me and Allison?
Just telling it the way I see it.
You want to know something? No matter what you say, we have a good relationship. Our relationship...
Well, in spite of it all, I was right. She is a good woman.
Oh.
You were wrong.
Oh, yeah. And that's the way you reward her, by going to those crazy parties, right?
My wife has an attitude...
I changed the lock on the door. You wouldn't even be able to get into the house.
Are you uptight about sex? Do you think there's something wrong with looking at the human body?
Listen, I don't want to be talking about the human body. I am talking about your behavior right now.
Fred has gotten married. Men have to honor that.
Fred has a beautiful, gorgeous new bride. Let him go home to her. That's what he should be doing. And Fred knows
Listen to that voice.
That's why he blocked that whole thing out. He blocked the whole
couldn't even remember it, right?
Now the thought came to me. I couldn't understand.
When you're in bed with Dad, do you ever think of other men?
Do I ever think of them? I think of a lot of men.
All right. Who would it be? Lou Costello? Who is it?
Babe Ruth.
When
Enrico
I see
Caruso?
a nice man, a nice husband, I'm proud of him.
Well, I am a nice man and a nice husband. I think you know that.
Okay,
Thank
you think about it.
You think about it, too.
I'll give you something to think about. I'll talk to you later.
And think about taking voice lessons to sweeten your voice.
All right, sweetness.
Because your voice
I
just...
need sweetness.
Your voice
right?
just melted my watch.
Okay.
All right, I love you very much.
All right.
Despite what you've said here.
Congratulations to you and your beautiful bride.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Mother.
All right. Talk to you soon.
Hopefully not.
She's going to call you this afternoon.
She's so nice.
She's so nice. Then make her your mother.
You know what's nice, Fred? She's not your mother.
Well,
Yeah.
in honor of your mother, I'm going to squirt.
See, you think like, I'm sure there's a guy sitting at home going, hey, his mom must put that on for the radio. If I tell you that's my mother, the real deal.
Oh, she's for real.
Yeah.
She's real.
And then she'll get my wife thinking, going, yeah, maybe there's something wrong with going to a strip club.
Your wife hasn't said anything about this?
No, she doesn't care. She knows I'll be home. And I'll save it all for her this weekend.
Yeah, like you did last night.
Last night I was asleep and she woke me up.
Well, you were saving yourself for her.
Listen, I am not going to be in a marriage where I can't go to a strip club for a couple of hours with guys and look at girls
Well,
dance.
I don't think the point is whether you are in a marriage and you can't go to a strip club.
Mm-hmm.
I think what your mother is objecting to is that you want to.
I want to go there because, look, here's reality, and every guy knows this.
Here is how
you love
it's
your
reality.
home life, you love your wife, you love your kids, but let's face it, especially for a guy like me who's going to remain monogamous, you want to see something before you drop dead.
What do you need to see?
Stripper.
Yeah, I know. I want to see my wife over and over and over again naked.
I don't know what you need to see.
I told you I need to see girls. All right, I got to take a break, and then we got to get back on schedule. It's news time,
All right.
so we can get out of here at 10
That's
o'clock.
right. Got a schedule to keep.
Yeah, I want to be out on time. All right, let's take a break.
I'm not interested in how